Well, last week, Nick found out who Rashid was, and this week, he finds Rashid's daughter. Plus, Ava flees the country in fear of being separated from her son, and Katie, unfortunately, may be suffering a miscarriage. We're going to talk about all that and more on this episode of the After Show for The Village.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I'm so glad they lifted the music.
That's my dance when I do a little Billy rock.
Right? And I just do a little.
Yeah.
Hey guys! Thank you guys for joining us tonight for another episode of The Village After Show. We are just one episode away from the finale.
Yay.
For this episode,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
For this season.
Nice.
I mean, well, you guys, I am your host, Marie, and full panel tonight, so I'm here with my fellow co-host.
Hey guys, I'm Carmen. Happy to be back.
Hey guys, I am AJ and I'm ready to talk.
What's up, guys? I'm Benny Adams.
Yes,
You ruined my intro.
All right, start over.
Let's try this again. What's up, guys? I'm Benny Adams. Excited to be here.
Yep.
Yes.
So, what were you guys' overall thoughts about this episode?
I liked it.
It was
good. I felt previous episodes were better, but this was still a decent episode. It still kept me watching. Yeah.
I feel really sorry for Katie at this point. She's been through so much, and she just keeps going through it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know.
You know,
I feel I'm half and half. Like, I do feel bad for her a little bit, but then it's like, you want to be so grown, so that's grown folks' problems.
It's just so much. She gets hit by a car. She almost has a miscarriage. You know, finds out about her mom and dad. Mom lying to her about her dad. Everything.
Yeah. She is going through a lot.
It's like, whew, Katie needs a break.
She does. Well, let's get into it. So, like we said, so last week, Nick finally found out who Rashid was. Because we know he was, kept seeing him, and when he went to like one of the meetings, he thought that this person was in Afghanistan with him, and they find out like there was no one named Rashid out there. So we finally find out who he is and where he comes from, and he was one of the fellow first responders from 9/11. Now they weren't in the same, because Nick was a firefighter as well. They weren't in the same house or whatever, but they were both there that day, and Nick saved Rashid, basically. And so he finds his daughter, Nick finds Rashid's daughter, to be able to kind of put some of the pieces together, because he's still trying to remember, like, exactly what happened. So how did you guys feel when he found the daughter and they kind of had their moment and they're talking about just the events of that day?
I loved that, you know, he actually got to have that conversation with her. I think it was it was kind of like closure. And I love how she told him, like, no, you actually, you know, you helped my father out. You're a hero in my eyes. And me and my mom, we really respected you for that. So I feel like it kind of redeemed Nick and his other situation. So it's like, you know, everything's not that bad. You are a good person and you did help, you know, another life.
Yeah, I feel like he can move on now.
Yeah.
Now that it's been revealed about who like Rashid really is. So this is, like you said, this is a chapter that's closed in his book, and now he can move on to other things as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy too how like they refer to him as the angel, and how like how we play those type of roles in each other's lives all the time. Like we get chances to be angels so much in life.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool that
Yeah.
they expressed that to him like that. Like, she thought you were an angel.
And I kind of felt like I wrote it down, like, because when Nick was in one of the meetings, he was saying, like, that the Rashid person saved him. Like, getting a little emotional. I was like, oh, it's so symbolic. So basically, it was like he saved Rashid. And then in his time of need, Rashid saved him, even though it was more of a spiritual thing. But I think, like, he saw him that time. Because he said he saw him, and that's what kind of saved him during that time. Like, he was the only one that survived. And when he was in Afghanistan and his whole, like, unit blew up.
Yeah.
And, like, that was what kept him alive, was that guy. So I think, like, he came back and was able to, like, you helped me, I'm going to help you in your need. You know what I mean? Even though it's, like, in a spiritual way. So I was like, that was kind of deep. I don't know if they meant to do that, but, like, that's what I took from it.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. And, you know, like I said, I think Nick really needed this because he was able to get closure from New York. You know, he got closure with Rashid, closure with Sarah and Katie. Like, everything was, all his unfinished business started to come together. And so, it did. I feel like he can move on with his life when he said he wanted to
And like
leave.
a relief from a little bit of the guilt that he was feeling.
Right.
Because remember, he was feeling responsible for all of those people dying, and his brothers that were in his troop or whatever, they were kind of blaming him for a lot of the death and stuff. So now he kind of got to see that he was more so like of an angel, like a saving grace.
Yeah.
Because I love the
as opposed
scene.
to like all the guilt that he was carrying about that.
Like the scene at the end, towards the end of the show, where he's sitting on that bench and you just see all everyone like behind him, like the people that he worked with, the people that he saved. In the song that they were playing at the time, like some of the lyrics were like, "I will rescue you," like "I won't stop marching for you," like things like that. I was like, dang, that's kind of powerful.
Yeah, this show is big on like music montages and like really particular soundtrack.
Definitely draws you in. And also I think it kind of helped his PTSD, because I think that's what was causing his PTSD, like not knowing like who this guy was or where this guy came from.
He finally got closure about where that dripping sound came from. Why he felt so affected by it.
So true.
Like the whole, like all of his whole like episodes were like, they were all 9/11.
Yeah.
Like not, from the war, because like the ash and everything that was
It made so much sense.
symbolic of 9/11. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then like him and Sarah have made up. And then so they're still kind of leaning on each other. So he asked her to go with him to, meet the daughter and everything like that. So I don't know if their relationship is going to grow or not. We got some things like next episode. We'll get to that a little bit later. It's pretty early for all that. But how do you think their relationship is going to go?
Well, he asked her to move in. She asked him to move in, right?
You talking about
Sarah and Nick.
Sarah and Nick.
I think, well, did she or just maybe to come back to the apartment?
Yeah.
Because
he said to come back to the apartment because he said that he, was going to leave.
So he said that he had signed up to go away to train soldiers.
Yeah.
And then she says, well, since you left, maybe I was confused in that part. She was like, I think that you should come back and stay at the village until it's time for you to go. But where else is she suggesting that he stay in his own apartment or in hers? I took it like she was saying, let's stay together. Because I'm like, oh, if that happens, it's a wrap. No?
I thought she meant just come back to
I thought she
his
meant
apartment.
Did he give up his apartment already?
No, they
remember
didn't
she told
state
him
that.
to move out.
Yeah.
And so
And they never showed like someone else like taking over the place.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think she was talking about just come back to the apartment.
Yeah.
Like come somewhere where I know that you're safe and you can lay your head here. I said it out of anger and I really didn't mean it.
Yeah. Sarah just wants everyone to come home. So her and poor Katie haven't talked in like 2 weeks. They are still going through it. And I like you said, like I feel bad for Katie, but some of her things I feel like kind of like swallow your pride. Like you are going through a lot. Stay at home because you don't have to be going through everything you're going through.
She feels like
or at least you don't have to go through it alone.
She seems like one of those people that feels like she's supposed to suffer through life, so she picks the hardest thing. Like Liam is obviously head over heels in love with you. That's not even his baby, and you're still trying to find a way to suffer about having this great guy show up in your life. I think she just likes to suffer. She's one of them tortured souls.
I don't agree with that. I think I give Katie a pass because one, she's very young and she's pregnant. She's going through all these emotions, the hormones. It's gonna put her in a different state of mind. So she's gonna act out. Plus everything that's happening to her. So I give her a pass for acting out and being the way that she is. I feel like if she wasn't pregnant, I don't think she would be acting this extra.
She knew she was pregnant when she did the heart, huh? From the very beginning, she's always known she was pregnant.
Yeah. So Katie, I definitely
just seems like she connects to pain so easily. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's what I get from her.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I just think Katie, she just I don't know. I know I had got cut off. I didn't forget what you made me forget. I was about to say. I forgot. Now go ahead though.
No worries, but like you said, Liam is like really there for her. I was watching this episode like, can I get a Liam?
I was like, where
Where
did
you
you come
get those from, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to the birthing class with her.
Yeah.
And not only that, like the fact that he was like, all right, well then let's do it. Like, let's go to the birthing class. Because he's about to leave to go to Berlin. And like, this is last 24 hours in the States before he leaves. Like, let's do something fun. She's like, well, I have a birthing class. He's like, all right then, that's what we're doing.
I just really want to know what is his end goal with her, because I'm like, are you trying to be the stepfather just in case she keeps the baby? Or are y'all trying to be a family? Are you just trying to be a supportive friend for her while she's pregnant? Are you trying to be her boyfriend if she gives it up? Like, I just need to know what's his end goal, depending on if she keeps it or not.
I think all of the above. You know, you have to start somewhere, and then you have to continue to like work your way up. So you start as friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, then he's the guy that's like helping her out with the baby, and then so on.
And then he's a little bit older, not like that much older, but I think he is concerned because like towards the end when they profess their love for each other, like he kind of like expressed how it was a little like confusing or like awkward for him, like just not knowing what to do. So I think he's like taking into consideration that she's younger, like under the consenting age maybe, so like he has to kind of tread lightly.
I think it's confusing for him because he didn't know in the beginning that she was pregnant or that she wasn't in high school. So he had probably already liked her, had already fallen in love with her work, and admire her for her work enough to base his own art show around her work, right? Did he base it around her work, or he just had that one piece?
He just had that like one piece, I think.
Yeah, but I think he really admired her from that, and then it was just like, well, I don't know what to do either, but I like you. So I think he's just a good-natured person, and he wants to just make sure he's there for her. But I don't think he knows what to do either. I just think he likes her and just wants to be in her life.
And I think he's trying to take it slow as well. Like, where do you meet guys like this? I just have to keep saying it. You know what I mean? Because he never
pregnant.
really brought it up, you know what I mean, about his feelings for her. Never, like, was, like, pushing up on her and things like that. So it was like he was, like, kind of letting her, take her time for
He kind of brought it up a couple of times, like, very gently, that he liked her. He wasn't going anywhere.
But, like, once it was, like, with the baby, then he kind of, all right, fell back and just let it be now.
Right.
Then he was just there for her. And he's kind of like...
I think he just is going to be a supportive friend with her and the baby. Because I think before he found out she was pregnant, I think he probably did have feelings for her and liked her. But then, as it got revealed that, hey, I am pregnant and this is not my real age, it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to just, kick her to the side. Like, I'll still be her friend and I'll be supportive. Like, he went to the class with her, helped her laugh, covered for her. So I think he's more doing a supportive friend because, he didn't object when she said she was leaving. He was like, okay, I can understand. Like, okay, yeah, go ahead. But I think he just wants to be a supportive friend. But as far as
romantic vibes from them. Like, way more than just friends.
Yeah, I think
he said, because he said he loved her too. Because she
as
said,
a friend.
Right.
You think it's a friend?
Listen, I just feel like he's, 21? You too old to be having these responsibilities. Like, go live your life. I just don't understand. He's too young. Like, why do you want to... I just feel like people be putting issues on them that they don't need to have. Like, for what?
But I think that's where he is. Like, he is a little bit of like...
He has an old soul.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, he's an old soul, but it's like... I do like her, but this is going to be a lot of responsibility, and I'm here now, and he's kind
I
of
don't
like...
know what to do.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
He needs to live his life, focus on his artwork and his career, and not be somebody's baby
love
daddy.
Him being there for Katie.
As a friend, yeah.
It's so unrealistic.
As a friend, like...
It's like, what?
She said it's unrealistic.
It is.
He's so supportive. But I wonder, so the woman who might be adopting the baby... Liam introduced the two of them, so I'm wondering if, like, now that the woman is, like, she wants a closed adoption, she's like, maybe when the baby gets older, when the child's older, and they want to know you, like, maybe, you guys can meet, but she's like, boom, closed, like, no contact, and I'm wondering, like, if that's going to kind of take an effect on Katie and Liam's relationship because he introduced the two of them together. If Katie might feel like, maybe you're just being so nice to me for her benefit.
Right, I didn't think about that, and... Liam might still think that Katie wants to for sure give the baby up, whereas Katie is still, I feel like she's going further and further more into the route of like keeping the baby because she keeps on getting put in situations where everything is just getting more real for her. The class where she has to do all these exercises, and then the accident where she hears the baby's heartbeat and she she finally understands like how much she cares for this unborn living person inside of her.
Because the panic that she, was going through, like, where's the heartbeat? Okay,
She's
where,
like
you know
trauma
what I mean?
bond.
Like,
She's like forming a bond already with the kid.
Right.
Yeah.
By like all these different things, where she's almost losing it, almost losing the kid.
yeah. But what did you guys think about the woman, like, wanting a closed adoption?
I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's realistic also because, you don't, like she said, you don't want there to be any confusion. Sometimes it works out, but in other situations it can get messy, and she just wants to be safe about it. She wants a clean break, like she said, and I understand that.
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's like you said, it's understandable. It's fair. I don't think she's wrong for requesting that. Because I feel like if she didn't, Katie would. People try to involve themselves too much, or I want to come check on the child, or pop up, or no, girl. If you don't want the child, then give it away. You're young. Go live your life.
And that be that.
And that be that. You can't have it both ways. You just can't. I mean, you want a babysitter, then you get a babysitter if you just want to come visit the child. But if you want to give the child up because, you can't take care of it and you're young,
Right.
then why would you want to put even that emotional pressure on yourself to say, oh, I need to go visit the child that I
think
gave
it's
up?
just really just hitting her that she's not going to be able to be in her baby's life. And I don't know what she's been telling herself all this time about it, but it's just, I think she's just waking up to the reality that, and it's happening as she's forming this deeper bond with this life that's growing in her.
Do you guys think she's going to go through with the adoption?
No.
No, I think
She's had too many traumatizing experiences that's made her bond with this baby at this point. Like, she doesn't want to lose it. So to give it up after all of this, I don't think she's going to go through with it.
Yeah, I think she's gonna keep it, and her and Liam can be a nice little happy family.
Weird.
Since he wants to step
So
in
weird,
and
but
take
okay.
care.
So much. I mean, like, and when they were in the hospital and she was panicking so much, he's like, "Show me your courage. Show me where your courage is." Or whatever they were practicing
He's
in
about
the
to be
class.
the step
Like,
baby daddy. Okay, they about to be a nice, happy little family.
stepdaddy of the year.
I guess.
I'm
Stepdaddy
just
of
like,
the
the
millennium.
actual baby daddy comes back into the picture.
Oh, he can kick rocks.
The parents might.
I forgot about him.
Right?
The parents wanted
Forgot
to
she
take care of
actually
the
got
child.
Oh yeah, the parents might try something if they find out like she's keeping it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess
They
that.
gonna want the child. Yeah.
Because
They said that they was going to be, there for her. They just told their son, like, you're going to go ahead with your
You're still gonna
education.
go
Like,
with
you're
your
going to
life.
do what you have to do. But as far as our grandchild, like, we're willing to take care
That's
of
crazy.
our
That's
grandchild.
messed up though. Like y'all, they both got in that bed together. So
But that's not Katie's fault.
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh.
so he should be like, go live your life and I'll take care of the child. No, like he should be there with her as well, like going through it too. Like you guys got the money.
That's
you
right.
can
Where
be able
is
to
he?
support. Right. You can still support him and give him a decent
Right.
education and everything.
Yeah.
So like for them to just be like, oh.
But that's how it is sometimes with guys.
It is a lot of
So
the
that's
time.
why, you can't put the responsibility on nobody else, and it's up to women. You need to take care of yourself and realize that nobody else in here is going to care for you like you can care for you. So stop putting yourself in situations that you're relying on somebody else and then you get mad at the result of it.
That's a word.
Just saying.
So
Responsibility, you have to take responsibility for your actions.
no, that's true. That's facts.
And that is difficult for people to do.
I
'Cause
agree.
People don't like to look at themselves and take responsibility
don't.
for the situations that they put themselves in. Because you can't control how other people act. You can only control what you do. Just saying.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All right now.
All right, right.
Hashtag the truth.
Hashtag
The real.
sis.
Okay, AJ preaches. No.
Yo, I cannot with y'all. Not today.
Before we move on, let's go ahead and get a message from the network.
Yes, you guys, we want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And in order for us to grow even more, we need your help. So if you're on YouTube right now, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you're listening to us on iTunes, go ahead and give us a 5-star. Working at AfterBuzz means so much to us, and we want to continue to learn and grow. So go ahead, continue watching us. Leave us comments also. Let us know how we're doing and what we can do to improve. And we're going to continue giving you amazing, great content.
Yes, we
Thank
will.
you.
Yes, we will.
Thank you guys. And shout out to those of you who join us in the chat every week,
Yeah.
especially, what is it, Mion? 134. And I think
Yeah.
that's how you say it. So shout out to her.
Mel?
She agrees with us on Art Bay. She's like, I need a man like Art Bay.
Art Bay.
Where can I find a man
Art
like
Bay's
that?
lit.
Nice, supportive, and now he loves her.
Girl, where they find each other at?
Right?
Girl, go do some artwork and
Go knit on a
Right,
fence,
wanna
honey.
find that,
See what you
right?
catch.
Yeah, so make sure you guys hit us up in the comments and in the live chat. We will shout you guys
Yes.
out. Okay, so Miss Ava here.
Child, I knew I was gonna be a headache. Child.
And you thought the fairy tale, you thought it was
I-
gonna be
I'm
all
still
wonderful.
ready.
I'm still right. She didn't have some master plan to get.
Wasted all Gabe's time.
But that wasn't
She was
that.
lying
That
on
was
that
last
paperwork. She
minute
knew it.
though.
No,
That was
She
last
knew this
minute.
plan.
It don't matter.
Because she knew she didn't really have a chance.
That's why she packed up her apartment. So I'm
Right.
packing it up just in
Right.
case. Girl, you packing your apartment up because you about to move to Canada.
Right?
But you guys thought that she was gonna do something like conniving or something to Ben, like get
No,
a,
but
get
it was
her-
more so that she still wasn't telling the truth, which she still isn't. You know what I mean, about the paperwork and everything. I still feel like she was even still lying to Gabe because, like, when Sarah popped up, her and Gabe are going through like the trial, prepping for the trial. Sarah pops up and she wants to talk to Sarah and everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, you need to prep for this.
Yeah.
So the fact that she didn't want to prep for it
Right.
and everything is
Yeah.
something she doesn't want exposed.
You was
Yeah.
like, girl, you was like, hang out. You was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you need to
You
go
need to
prep.
prep.
No, you know, I agree. I think what she did was very selfish. When it comes to her, it's hard to.
Why she
it's
take
hard.
up for her?
Well, no, it's hard because on one side, what she did was selfish towards her friends, but on the other side, she's thinking about what's best for her and her son. Even though as a viewer, I disagree. I think she should have went through the trial and went through the right way
She
of
like, F
doing
the
it.
system.
But she
We
knows she's
out.
gonna lose.
But like in her head, she's thinking, "What's the best thing for me and my kid?"
And that's all she's been thinking about the whole time. And that's why I was like, Ben, be careful.
And you can't.
Because as soon as she found out Ben wasn't available, it was like, forget about me. Forget I exist.
You can't.
Don't love me anymore.
You can't
I'm
fault
like,
her.
oh, now you want to forge a wedge.
You can't fault her for thinking about her son and making her son the main priority, though.
You can't. But I think it's a little bit more than just her wanting to do better for her son. Like I just feel like there is something that she doesn't want exposed.
Yeah.
And
she
that's why
fled
that's
with the
another reason why
husband's
she's running,
family.
right? Like it's not only I got to do this for my son, it's also like there's something about my past that can't be exposed.
Sis is
Yeah. And,
a rebel.
yeah. And
This is a
then
renegade.
she had them looking, that was a bad look on their part too. They go to court.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
And-
wasted their time.
Yeah. No, like I said, it was very selfish on her part for what she did to them because they're, especially Gabe, he's giving away so much of his time to help her out.
He went through so much dealing with Ava's case.
He's going out of his way
With his
to help her,
dad.
and then she just ran away. But we still have one more episode left, so you never know. It's not like I highly doubt this is going to be the last we see of her.
Forget me.
Yeah, she
Going there, I
really
think
just. It was an inconvenience to everyone. She had everyone looking unprepared and like it was a bad look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially for like
Yeah.
Gabe's first trial.
You're
You know
right.
what I mean? Like your client isn't here. He
Yeah,
tries to
Gabe-
ask for an extension or something like that,
And
and
he
it's like,
prepared
Got
for
my
the
man out here looking
trial.
sloppy.
Then she has Ben, being the support in the audience, audience
Yeah.
and the audience, in the court. It's just a bad look.
Yeah.
it is for real.
Ava.
Well, Benny over there. is
She don't
gonna
trust the system. I don't blame
take up for
her.
her no matter what.
I don't blame her. She don't trust the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, girl.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both, like not trusting them, but also, like I said, I keep saying, it's something. It's something.
You think there's something
It's
more?
something.
Yup.
I think so. But
She be smuggling water.
A water.
She
little
got
girl
that
popped in my
water.
head.
She got that water.
Side note, this has nothing to do with this show, but have you guys seen that little girl on Instagram?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
She's a
I'll show
new
you guys
Debbie
later.
Allen.
You guys have to look up this cute little girl on Instagram. She dances and all this other stuff. She's cute. So I
Hilarious.
got that water. Okay, so anyway, speaking of having
Side
that water and then
note.
having that sauce.
Who was his house?
Pops.
Oh,
And
Pops
Gwendolyn.
got the
He
sauce.
was trying to get her
Gwendolyn,
drunk
He was.
through the food.
Through the food.
Yeah.
Through the
He
food.
knew what he was doing.
Pouring
He
all
knew what
that
he was
wine in
doing.
there.
But that
You
was
know,
cute. They
they
had
were
like a little
cute.
cook-off. Well,
Yeah.
at first they were planning to cook together, and then they had some different ways of cooking. So then it became like, oh no, that's not going in my pot. Well, that's not
Yeah.
going in mine. So let's just see who's the best.
I love how gracefully they dealt with, like, I like the fact that she kind of, like, how do I say it? Like, she didn't wait for him to say, like, sometimes this is weird for me. I mean, even though he had stated it before, I like the fact that she just came out like, I know that living up to your wife is like a big deal. It kind of like eased the pressure of him thinking about her. Like, she let him know it was okay. And it didn't make her feel a kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, she knew about his respect and how he
Right.
revered his wife. And so
Yeah.
I like that.
But also that she wouldn't be intimidated by it too.
Yeah.
She's
I
like, I'm
mean,
not going nowhere though.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. And I think he appreciated that too. Like, I understand how you feel, but just know, like, this is a new thing. This is our thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like their storyline because it kind of everyone else's storyline is kind of sad. Their storyline is more happy, puts a smile on your face. So it
Yeah.
kind of takes you away from all the sadness a little bit and lets you see, like, you know, true love develop. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's cute.
I like the dynamics of their relationship. Like I said before, I just think they want a friendship and just grow old together and just die together. Because, you know, at this
Every
point,
time you say that, it's just
I mean,
want
just
company.
being
Yeah.
real,
Nobody
you
wanna
know,
be old and dying
like,
by themselves.
Yeah.
but it's the way she say it. Just die together.
They die together.
No, because, you know,
Well, one of them is gonna die before the other, so it's still like an attachment that somebody you had to lose. So I don't know.
I've heard
Maybe they
stories.
wanna
Yeah, I was
though.
gonna say,
Yeah.
depending on how close they get and how much they bond, they could
Yeah.
go together. Be like the Notebook.
Just go to bed and just both die.
People
Y'all
have-
hear stories like
People,
that?
and besides the Notebook, like in real life, people
Yeah,
have died
I've
together,
heard.
or they may die like a day apart.
Oh yeah, I hear about that. Like when best friends die, soulmates and stuff like that too.
But I have a question though. What pasta sauce would you guys have chosen?
The one with all the wine in it.
Okay.
Yeah, probably like
same
them
here.
pig feet. I'm not trying to do
eating
that pork.
pigs, but
I'm trying to get all that swine in there.
In my
but
last life, I might have done the pig feet.
yeah, I probably would have went with a little
Change
more
my
wine.
ways.
yeah.
I'd be like, this tastes good.
Tasty.
But before we get into our special segment, let's touch on Patricia a little bit. We didn't see her like too much this episode,
Yeah.
but they talked about her a little bit, and they revealed that she's gonna have surgery. And Ron is really nervous because of like all the complications that could go wrong, because she still has, you know, low blood cell count or something like that. Whatever it is, it can cause infection, and also like she could bleed out. You know what I mean? You're getting a surgery, you're being cut open. Like, it's very dangerous for her. Surgery has its can have its complications. Period. So it's on top of that, like, ooh, you know, she could get an infection, could bleed out. What were you guys thinking about that when like that scene came on?
I like how he shifted the blame. Like, he knows that his wife is so used to being strong for everybody else, so he kind of was like, you got to survive for them.
Yeah.
And she was like, I guess I have to then. I like that.
Yeah.
Because he knows that she's the one that's not never weak. You know? So I liked how he flipped that.
I'm actually hoping that we don't see a crazy, like, traumatic finale with Patricia, because the fact that they
don't think we
didn't really
will.
touch on it too much makes me feel like,
Yeah.
well, are they going to do it more next episode?
But I
gonna
think
be
I think
okay.
they didn't touch on it too much this episode is because pretty much throughout this whole season she's been the main focal point, her and her cancer story. And so I think that's why, I could be wrong, but I think that's why they kind of took she had less screen time, I guess you could say, just to like give the other characters more screen
More
time,
time,
and
okay.
to have like more for Nick to have his closure with his story.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because Katie, we needed time to figure out what was going on with her. She got a lot
Right.
going on.
She does.
Her
Yeah.
storyline is a lot.
Ooh, wee. Poor little Katie girl.
Okay.
What was that? Sorry, guys. I just drew a blank. But okay, so now it is time for our special segments, our village moment. Which, for those of you, if you're just watching, if you're just joining us live, this is a moment where we have our favorite either quotes or special moments that happen in that episode tonight. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go first. My favorite village moment was the scene with Nick and finally getting his closure with he was with him sitting on the bench with his men behind him, and I think it was a time for him just to reflect on everything and just to figure out, okay, this was my purpose, and just to take it all in. So I feel like he really needed that closure because it was a confusing time for him being in New York with the PTSD, with the Sarah and Katie situation, with the girl he was sleeping with. It was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, it was like, okay, let me just sit down and just reflect and figure out my next move. So I like that he finally got closure.
My village moment was, you guys are giving me so much crap for
You might
this.
say Ava.
Ava.
Ava. Go ahead, Ava.
Mine was Ava and Katie, where, you know, Katie's telling Ava that, you know, you are my equal, and like they're bonding.
Oh,
and,
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah. I always get them confused. I don't know why. Yeah, when Sarah's telling Ava that she's you're my equal, and they're bonding together, and it was a touching moment because you know that you could tell this place really felt this was home for Ava, and Sarah and all the rest of them were her family, and they were really close to her. You could tell she was really sad, you know, that she was going to be leaving them.
Yeah.
Mine was
I like
Liam
that.
in the
We had
hospital. Liam in the hospital with Katie and just helping her get through that moment. It just was like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy's a dream come true.
Isn't he?
Yeah, and I
Like
thought
a
that was really
unicorn.
cool when he reflected back to, like, he wasn't just at that birthing class just to be there. Like, he was really paying attention, and it, like, almost mimicked, like, birth.
Yeah.
You know, like, with him just, I don't know, he's just a good guy. I was
But
like,
yeah,
okay.
I love that part too. That was like I wrote down too because like that was one of mine. But I felt like it was a good part. I was like someone else might have that. My other one was Nick and Sarah because earlier in the episode when Sarah was meeting up with Nick at the restaurant, and then Nick was letting her know he was meeting with Rashad's daughter. They were kind of having a conversation. Sarah mentioned not having any talents or something like that. And then later on, Nick tells her, well, you do have a talent. You have a talent of making people feel better. Because that's when she was telling him, well, just come back to the village and things like that. And then I thought about how when she spray
I forgot
painted.
about that.
Yeah,
That was
she spray painted
good.
the wall.
Yeah.
And Sarah... mixing them up too. Katie saw it just in time, like just when she needed to see it, when she's coming back from the hospital having like the scare of her life. She sees her mom, like is still there, is gonna always be there for her.
And
I
she
was
spoke
like,
to her in her language, too.
right, yeah,
That
like she
was
said,
so
like
cool.
that was so cool. So that was my favorite part. I like that. Yeah, like Nick, like letting her know you have a talent of making people feel better, and we saw it in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Sarah also met a hottie
She did.
that helped her spray paint the wall.
She did.
And how, like, strange is that? Like, that he owns the building but is totally down to spray paint his own wall.
It's curious though. Is this new guy gonna be like a big new fling for her, or is he gonna end up being, you know, the same as the other guy that was introduced in the pilot episode?
I don't know, because I know her and Nick are still in love with each other. They can keep trying to sweep it under the rug if they want, but...
well, that's
And he kind of looks like Nick a little bit, like the dark hair.
Yeah.
Are we doing
beard.
predictions?
I know.
Are we
Like, well,
doing
let's go
predictions
ahead and,
right now?
Might as well. We
get
gotta,
into
you know,
predictions then.
It's about that time.
And now,
Flick those
your
lights.
AfterBuzz TV.
Flip the lights. I don't think the light's flickering here, but go on.
She said.
I think he
Spidey
has a
senses.
little bit of a different look than Nick, though.
Oh,
He's
A little more, less worn out.
And I think, yeah.
he
he's
definitely
fresher.
has both legs, so
He just
nice.
looks more polished.
he does.
But he has
Yeah.
that dark haired, bearded.
more mature.
Yeah.
It's her type. He's her
Yeah.
type.
Like you said, like
Grown
more
man.
like polished, more, more
Grown man.
debonair. Yeah. So, so next week, they show her on a date with this guy. And Nick is in his feelings about it a little bit because he's thinking
That's
that
baby daddy.
they're, you know what I mean, they're sparking something back up because Sarah knows how to make people feel good. So I think that actually with that thing, I think Sarah is gonna start to date him. I think she is gonna feel like I need to maybe separate myself from Nick a little bit because he was willing to leave.
He might
You know
still
what I mean?
leave.
And
Told
he
him
might
get
still
out. She
leave.
told him get out. She told him to leave.
True,
Yeah.
but she didn't say leave the city, and I know I was the one that was like, you know
He
what I
was
mean? Like,
only
how
there
dare you
for his
tell her to
daughter.
leave? But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, she didn't take you to leave the city, the whole
Just
state.
the apartment, not the
Right.
city.
See, that's how you should think before you speak out of emotion. You did not want him to leave. Now this man keep uprooting his life for you, lady.
So what do y'all
Sarah.
think is gonna happen next week on the finale?
For Katie, I think that she's going to end up keeping the baby. I think the baby's going to be fine. I don't think she's going to have a miscarriage. But I do think she's going to end up keeping the baby, which is going to cause complications with the woman who wants to adopt the baby,
Yeah.
and complications with Liam.
With Liam?
Yeah, and then so
Yeah.
that's going to be
Yeah.
interesting.
I think that I'm curious to see what Ben is going to do with his current wife now that Ava has left the picture. So you know how dudes do; they kind of go back. So and now they kind of got into it in the preview. So I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, it's looking
Yeah,
like
she
she's
wasn't
telling him to
having it.
leave, but
Yeah.
but it looks like she came around long enough to make sure she got between him and Ava.
Ava will be back. She's coming back.
Okay. Well, this will be our first season finale for The Village. So
Yeah.
make sure you guys come back, join us, same time, same place. We will talk about everything that's going to happen on this finale. Maybe some of our predictions will come true.
We'll see.
Maybe
We'll
it won't.
see.
We will see. And we'll see you guys next week. Once again, I am El Marie. You guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at lmarietv.
I'm Carmen. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at king_karma_.
AJ, follow me on Instagram at crimsonpearl. Check out my YouTube channel, AJ Talks.
Hey, I'm Benny Adams, and you can find me on all social media at bennyjadams.
And we'll see y'all next week.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Take it easy.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.